Hi, I'm going to discuss embryos, specifically frozen embryos. The religious right extremists, such as OCTOMOM, value embryos as much as a 1-year-old or a 90-year-old. This is according to OCTOMOM, who is a pro-birther. I don't know if you recall, but she's the one who had a doctor impregnate her with 8 embryos, I believe, and all 8 developed into fetuses. So she did not want to leave frozen embryos unused. That was her philosophy, because she values them as much as a 1-year-old or a 90-year-old, according to the TV show Decades, which is a history type show. And she was interviewed. This nut obviously doesn't believe in God's will or birth control, despite human overpopulation that is jeopardizing all other species as well as our own futures. And who else used IVF? Mike Pence, the religious nut. I thought it was against God's will. So these birthers, rather than adopt the 450,000 kids and teenagers in foster care right now, and most of them don't even realize it because they don't care enough to even research it. They think that there's a waiting list for babies. Like that would be like a vegan not going to a pet store breeder, rather than saying here's a 2-year-old puppy that needs to be adopted or a 4-year-old. So that's how hypocritical they are. Help none, tell others what to do. Also on this day in history, since we were talking about the show Decades, the Atheists and Rational Thinkers page with 650,000 followers was deleted by Facebook after the constant crying and complaining and temper tantrums thrown from the religious Christian extremists. Yes, they complained so much that the page was deleted, unfortunately. And the worst part is, most of the information they posted was for human and animal rights issues, for charity. They questioned the science behind religion and questioned some things, had a few little jokes like religious freedom. Oh, we're oppressed, the 90% of society in America. Oh, and we're so oppressed by the 10%. And they had funny things, and as well as debates on real issues pertaining to religion and separation of church and state. But these people whined so much, there must have been an apologetic religious nut in Facebook, because it should have never been deleted. But that's how these whiners got their way. It was just a page you can unsubscribe anytime. And it was by far from rude or hateful. It was just pointing out facts and, again, posting for charities for human and animal cruelty issues, as well as human rights issues. And they wanted this deleted just because it defied their belief system or ideologies. So that's how crazy these people are. Yes, Christian extremists. So we need to call out them before they turn into the next ISIS. They justify their means, such as shooting up women clinics, bombing them, arsons, such. Imagine if other causes acted this way. So, again, OCTOMOM, pro-birther. Mike Pence, pro-birther. Help none. They value embryos just as much as real humans. My belief is 1 million embryos, frozen embryos, are not worth one child or one 1-year-old, 1 million of them, or a sentient being of any species. Sentient, look it up if you don't know what a sentient being is. So, just want to call out the hypocrites. Go have your baby back ribs in Chick-fil-A and actually help rather than be against something. I don't care what you're against. You can be against war, against world hunger, against this, and for this or that. If you're not helping them, your words mean nothing. Women could remove anything they want from their body anyways. It's their body, they can remove it. You can't force someone to be pregnant for 8 or 9 months because it's against your religion. Maybe it's for their religion, or their religion is okay with it. So stop being hypocrites and leave others alone. Thank you. Again, women can simply remove what they want from their body. Support free birth control if you actually care. Free birth control saves money of taxpayers by the millions and prevents your terminations of fetuses. Use my tax dollars for both in Planned Parenthood. Thank you.